This is CoTCast, Episode 7, August 29th, 2008.
Hi everybody, this is Maeve and you're listening to CoTCast, Circle of Trust. Remember, don't do stupid things alone.
Welcome to CoTCast. We're a Warhammer Online guild fighting for destruction, and this is our podcast about all that concerns us.
This is Jabberant, and I am not from Texas.
This is Thrakus, also not from Texas.
This is Winnan, and I am also not from Texas.
This is Zelly, and I am not from Texas. Today we'll be talking about the preview weekend and the server rule set options. Lagwar has invited us to do a guild spotlight. Those that don't know, Lagwar is an online guild and clan spotlight focusing on MMORPGs and various other online multiplayer games and the people who play them. They put out a front page article on their website, and sometimes they have a spot on their actual podcast for them. I talked to Zis, and he invited us to do it, and I said we'd probably be interested in doing it around October after release.
Well, yeah, we just need to get in the game and get going.
Yeah, then we can focus on our server.
Because the way the guild looks now, who knows what's going to look like a month after release once people get into the game. So let's get things going, set, kind of figure out what our makeup is, and then that would be awesome.
I expect a massive change in our roster 2 months after release.
Because we are casual.
There's a lot of people who don't realize that we mean that.
There may be days.
Casual means something different for everybody.
I know.
That's true.
We're very hardcore about our casuality.
We are.
So Zelly, you have a piece on Only War.
Only War did a career Q&A panel on the Zealot, and for some reason they wanted a horrible one, so they asked me. And Lisa and Railmer did a really good one.
Yeah, theirs was awesome.
Theirs were really good.
Yeah,
so.
Why were you with them?
I think for comparison value.
Oh, I don't want to
Cleanse the palate.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they said they're gonna do one for all careers. I think in every career they should have a side note like Thrakus's corner. What does he think after 3 minutes of a class?
Hey, I've put in a good 8 to 10 minutes on some of them, so cut me some slack there.
So you can write a couple sentences.
I don't think he has any trouble talking about the classes. Just talking intelligently.
I was going to say talking with any knowledge might be the trick.
So it should be the opinion. What does Thrakus think about each class after he gets killed by somebody?
Thrakus is brain crap.
Brain dump. Yeah.
Duh.
Stream of consciousness with Thrakus.
Thrakus, why do you hang out with us?
Yeah, we're
I enjoy it.
To you.
It's
But see, it's like if somebody else comes and rips on you, we'll be like, hey.
I would be pissed off.
Yeah.
he's my bitch.
Yeah. You go stand in the corner, Thrakus, while I deal with this.
It'd be like a half-baked.
That is mine to shit on.
I didn't read your piece, Zelly. What's the punchline? What's cool about the Zealot?
It is pretty much like most basic healer classes. It is the purest healer class on the destruction side. But even so, you still have a ton to do. There's some damaging. It's mild damaging spells that you do get, but you gotta toss them out there every chance you get. You get a lot of people who are they're poking into the battle and then shooting out again. You can blast them with your, you get an insta DD and an insta damage over time spell that you can blast them with, and everything helps. Sometimes you take out a couple with that, just because someone else is beating them down pretty bad. And you keep a few from escaping. There's also, you have a few cool spells that when someone does sneak behind the lines and they do target the Zealot like they should, that you can do a knockback, you can bubble yourself, you can do some DD and put on your Harbinger, and that actually saves you like about, I think it's 25% damage, while your tanks can kind of rally and notice that, oh yeah, I need to save her because she'll keep me alive. Or he.
Cool.
Yeah, you're very busy. You have to watch everybody. A lot of times you're healing people that are in the thick of the fight, and you get people running back, yelling for heals, and it's like, dude, you're back here with me. You're safe. You can wait while I'm healing someone who's really getting pounded on. Well, I mean, they could have a damage over time or something like that, and they do need a heal, but they're not as. I mean, there's a hierarchy of need there.
It's triage.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but even if I'm not in the same group, if I'm in a war band, I'm focusing on my guildies first.
Well, that's what you should do. And then anything else that you can do is just you being awesome.
Yeah. Well, I
So
think that's standard for a healer. You should really be focusing on the whole battle.
Is there a particular class that you heal first and, ignore the goblins unless you're free for a minute, or what?
I try to focus on the tanks, the chosen, and the orcs come first because they're going to stay in the thick pretty good. The witch elves and the marauders take a lot of healing, and I try to get them, but sometimes while you're just trying to keep them barely above dying, you could have really done some good on a stronger tank. So you kind of have to balance it out, though, because then other times the tanks are doing fine, and you have time to heal those marauders, because the marauders and the witch elves, they can really do a lot of damage. The disciples of Cain, you don't have to worry about them as much. I love them because they're healing themselves throughout, so they save you a lot. And the shaman, you don't have to really focus on them at all. They're able to do some
Because they're awesome.
Yeah, they're able to do some damage. They're healing as well and helping out with all that mess, so... your tanks.
I noticed you didn't mention anything about healing Squig Herders. Is this something I should worry about later?
Yeah, what do you have against them?
It's...
You're anti-Squig Herder.
I'm not
stance has
anti-Squig
been-
By the time you finish casting the spell, they're dead, right?
Well, yeah, and you're in the back, so you're not... I don't know. I can't. It's a pain to heal your pets, because I don't think I can heal.
No, you shouldn't worry about the pets.
Yeah, you can't target them from the menu screen anyway, so I've never bothered to even try.
I think someone...
Yeah, they're throwaway.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, they are.
And it's... if you were in my group winning, I would focus on keeping you alive, but for the most part, you're going to be last on my list as a Squig Herder. It's going to come out to hierarchy. Other Zealots, too, I'm going to try and keep alive over you, because they're going to help me heal the other people.
Well, most Squig Herders probably don't need as much healing because they are back.
They're in the back. They don't...
They're picking
Yeah.
their targets.
Yeah. If a Squig Herder's dying, it's generally because someone snuck around back, and I do need to
Yeah.
pay attention to that, so...
Yeah, you really do.
I do. You're really busy. You have to pay attention to everything. Oh, and by the way, that's not what I'm playing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All
Glad
that
you
for
talked so
nothing. Well, you really sold it with that last sentence.
Sorry. I updated the initiate schedule. It took me forever, but I realized with the changes in the way they closed the preview weekend and opening for the open beta, we had a whole group going through initiation that weren't going to be in game at all. So I moved them back 2 weeks, so everyone else got bumped back 2 weeks. So you probably received a PM some time ago telling you what dates you were going through initiation phase. That has changed. Just as we said, it was subject to change, so...
It's set in mud.
Yeah. You're not in the guild yet, so
You're going to get invited next year sometime.
Oh, and I am officially retiring from sponsoring until 2009 because I am scheduled with initiates until the end of November now. So I'm done.
Well, we have a lot of initiates.
Yeah.
So that needs to... Hopefully it will slow down here.
I think we're going through a frenzy right now, people trying to find guilds.
Yeah, well, the game's pretty... I mean, what, like 2.5 weeks now?
Well, apparently if we're getting clicks, then people are just clicking any guild and...
Yeah.
Please take me, please take me.
I want in your guild.
I thought it said Circle of Killing. Damn it.
Yeah. And then you got a
This is
screenshot
all
on the
about
Herald.
me. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's my spotlight.
Wow. I wonder who wrote this agenda.
I did get
Completely random.
I know. I did. Well, I did get a screenshot on the Herald as well. It's
Coming ashore.
Coming ashore.
C-O-M-I-N-G.
Yes.
So,
That's the title.
yeah. C-O-M-I-N-G.
That's my disciple.
Oh, I misread it.
I was very depressed.
I thought it was that movie I had down in my
Oh
basement.
my.
Yeah. Gross. Way to just kill it. Did you win anything for that screenshot?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I won the honor of being able to say they picked my screenshot. It's not even the best one up there, but
It's pretty good.
the other one.
It doesn't even,
That other one with the witch
doesn't
elf
even-
is really cool. Though. It's way better.
it doesn't say that it's from you.
No, I think once you submit it, it's like property of Mythic again. You know. I mean,
Yeah.
It's their screenshot, really.
It's their game.
Yeah. So.
We know it was
Oh,
you.
I tried explaining that to a coworker. He's like, "So did you paint that?" Or I'm like, "No, I took it in game." He's like, "So this is a game you did not create and you just took a screenshot of something that was there."
Did they ended up...
It's all about the composition.
What the fuck are you talking about? Am I on candid camera?
He does not get that.
No, it's like photography, right? It's all about the
That's what
composition.
I tried to explain. It's like photography. He goes, "But it's in a video game." I'm like, "Yes."
Hey, there was an article in Wall Street Journal about a PlayStation 3 game where all you do is explore this African safari area,
about
and
that.
It's called Africa.
Yeah, it's awesome.
so tell your coworker, hey man, Wall Street Journal thinks it's cool, so back off.
You should. WSJ thinks it's great.
Of course, they're owned by Rupert Murdoch, right, or whoever the
I think
Fox guy
everything
is.
I think this podcast is owned by Rupert Murdoch.
It'd be
No,
nice to
official
have that kind
property.
of funding.
Yeah.
What's what with War? Preview weekend. How did it go? Because Ab and I were very not present.
You guys in your real life.
I know.
Yeah, I was able to get on pretty much every time I tried, but I know a lot of people had a difficulty getting onto the server or getting on at all.
I had a lot of problems that I didn't have before because of all the friggin' people. It kind of just felt like a gigantic stress test with the sugarcoating, hey, it's a preview weekend. Everybody enjoy. Oh, but don't mind the crashing and the burning and the everything falling to pieces.
Wouldn't it
Well, I
be,
mean, it is beta test.
wouldn't it be great? MMOs would be awesome without all the people.
Indeed. Those are called single player.
Oh, I hate those. I would complain still.
I'm too OP.
I did try to get on for the preview weekend a couple times. I didn't have any problems at all, but maybe I was just lucky at the times I got on.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well. I guess I've got into one scenario, and it didn't seem any more laggy or anything than usual, but later on my brother gave one a try, and he said it was really laggy and crashed out, so...
There was such a problem with Norden Watch on the last day that they actually shut it down and everybody had to go to Ikruns. Like, it got pretty bad at one point.
That's nuts.
They said they figured it out.
Yeah, I guess if it was a stress test, they probably should have said that. I know their attitude is like, hey, it's a beta test, you don't like it, tough shit. But if you call it a preview weekend, you kind of want it to be, your best effort, no problems, all that.
Mark Jacobs posted a preview weekend update. The update on the VN boards. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
I
There's
don't
a lot
read
of good
VN.
fixes.
I get updates if Mark Jacobs posts.
They're going to fix most of the problems with the preview weekend, so I don't have any worries.
Yeah, it looks like they've
Okay.
already fixed, everything I had heard about that was an issue.
They fixed that
Yeah, I'm
RR6 gear thing, thank God. Getting the level, the rank, the tier 2 gear and tier 1 for your RR6 going to the keeps and getting it. They said they're going to fix that, so you can't do it anymore.
I didn't realize you could do that, so.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh,
I guess the level for the gear was different than the level for being in the tier 1 zone.
the level for the gear was level 10. You could go and get it, but you had to go to the tier 2 zone to get it, and it wasn't meant to be brought back. And everyone was going, getting it, bringing it back, and completely destroying people in tier 1.
Oh, no. I did do that. Okay, yeah, I just thought we were allowed
Yeah.
to. I'm sorry.
No, they were thinking about
Everyone
leaving it
else
in.
was doing it.
Exactly. They were thinking about leaving it in because everybody had access to it, but then they're like, well, it's kind of just going to make people wait till level 10 to get it. You're not really going to want to do a BG or go on Open RVR because everybody's going to have that already, and it's kind of kills part of the fun.
Yeah. I heard a lot of frustration from some of the guildies and initiates who were running into troubles on the preview.
Yeah, I think a lot of people went into this expecting it to be a finished product, and like preview weekend, okay, we're going to see the game in its final forms, and it was actually still kind of a closed beta, and there were so many issues and stuff that actually I saw a lot of people dissing it and really giving WoW a bad review because of all the issues they had.
You mean war?
Yeah, yes, what did I say?
Wow.
Wow.
Uh-oh. I'm going to get, don't cut that.
That's Thrakis.
People are going to burn me.
If you would like
Yeah.
Thrakis' email.
I always knew you were a WoW fan,
www.zelly.com.
Oh, so Head Start announced September 14th. Is that only the CE members, right?
I think if you were lucky and you signed up early with the standard edition, they're going to let some of them in.
That's cool. It's this Sunday. I'm happy. I was afraid I was going to be at work because I can't take any of those days off, and I want to get my character going.
So,
I'm very impressed. Oh, sorry.
so how does that work? So all the collector's edition get in early, and then people who pre-ordered, is that their same head start, or do they get a different head start date? I'm confused over that because they've implied, that both get a head start.
Collector's editions are supposed to get more time. I don't know what's going to actually happen because as we've seen with them, things are constantly up in the air. But as far as I know, I think collector's edition is just supposed to get maybe an extra day, or who knows, maybe it's like 12 hours or something.
I want 3 minutes.
Go. Yeah, I'm actually impressed that it was 4 days. I was really, the way that Mark Jacobs had said it and the way that they were kind of treating it, I thought it was just going to be a day, maybe 2 days pushing it. But 4 days, I'm pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, I guess the benefit is you're going to get out of the newbie areas before everyone else, so you'll be ahead of the wave.
All right, so we should probably move on to our topic, server rule set. Why go open in an RVR focused game?
Well, first of all, what are the different options?
Open is war is everywhere. It means you can be killed anywhere, even.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not total free for all. You can't be killed by your own realm.
Oh, I know that.
Well, but other people might not realize that.
Well, yeah, you can be killed. You're flagged all the time. Whereas the regular server, there's the zone in each. There's the part of a zone that's dedicated to RVR, and it gets bigger as you level. But you can always just PvE.
Or you can opt to flag yourself.
Right. Yeah, you can be flagged all the time. But I know we had this discussion as a guild before. We really knew what the server was going to look like. But I definitely know after playing, we kind of found that the regular server meets our need. I mean, we as a guild used to have guild farming days, and we may just want to PvE at times.
I know from playing on World of Warcraft that going on a PvP server doesn't work for us, the open PvP. Everyone I know from that server, from Emerald Dream, has either quit playing WoW altogether or has transferred to a regular server, because after a while, it just doesn't have longevity. You get sick of getting ganked. PvP is great, but it's also intrusive on those nights when you don't want it.
Yeah, for me, I like PvP when it's more balanced, I guess because I came from the realm of first-person shooter games. And if I'm playing and somebody who I have no hope against comes up and wipes me out, that's no fun for me. I know some people enjoy it, some people want a world where anyone can kill anyone, but, that's good for them, it's not what I like.
I don't see why someone who, if you're good at PvP, why you're going to sneak around and kill some PvE player that's not expecting it. If you're good at PvP,
Sorry.
it seems like you would be in the RVR areas where you could actually be benefiting your realm. It seems like if you're a good PvP player, you're going to be in that area where you could be getting the points, getting the recognition, and your guild's going to want you there because you can turn the tide of battle. Why? It seems like if you're bad at PvP, then you would want to be on open. There's no benefit to it.
Yeah, I was a little on the fence about it before because the way the Alliance was describing it, and I had never tried it before, so it sounds so like, oh, war is everywhere, it's going to be incredible. But then once we finally got to play it, it's just Mythic did such a good job of making it so available and so easy to find. You got scenarios, you got open RVR, it's marked on the map, it's huge, and there's objectives, that it just becomes a moot point to make it open. The only thing you're basically doing is saying, okay, I want to go and bother people while they're doing something. And I've already seen it happen in the regular rule sets in beta the other day. A couple of level 10 with the RR6 gear, like an Ironbreaker and a Rune Priest, which that combination is just a headache in itself, came to the level 1 Chaos Zones and started walking around looking for a fight. So I think I'd rather not deal with the headache of, okay, now they're camping my PQ. Well, I can't do that. We've got to run to the other side of the zone, or we got to go get high levels, and it really starts killing the game.
I really like that I have the option to flag if it's my zone. So if I want to take them on, I can. But if I don't, they're not going to grief me. And then if I'm in their area looking for a fight, I'm flagged. You can't just walk around without any consequences. If you go looking for a fight, you're going to find one.
Well,
I think it's awesome. I think it's great the way they have the core rule set up.
In the open server, I mean, I played because my dad likes those kind of servers, and so I've played on them in EverQuest and a couple other games, and there is a different feel when you're playing. I mean, at least for me, I'm always on edge. I'm looking around, kind of nervous that I'm going to get squashed in any minute, and it's a more intense game playing style, which sometimes is fun, but for the most part, I don't enjoy that. But I can see why some people do like that sort of adrenaline rush kind of play.
You have to be a certain type of player. It sounds cool to hear, war is everywhere, but then you get those people who go play and before they log on, I think they say to themselves, I'm a douchebag. I want to go kill people as they're about to die. And those people ruin the experience.
But they're elite because they can time it to where you're about to die.
I can sit here and wait. I'm awesome. So I'm glad we figured out that. Well, I'm glad that this game is set up that way. Where in DOC there was that huge disconnect between PvE and RVR. This, like Drekka said, really nails it. It's right there. It's available when you want it. If you just want to, relax and do PvE for a night, you totally have that option, and you can head over there if you want to. It's awesome.
Or, you also, if you're PvEing and someone wants to get together and hit the realm fighting, you just go over there and you do it. You don't have to take a horse for 15 minutes and then wait for the guys to teleport you and then run for 20 minutes to get to the action place.
And try to move around all the buff bots at the portal keep. Yeah. So now it's Winnen's turn to answer wacky questions. There's a shitload of them, too.
All right.
You don't have to answer all of them.
I want to hear all of these answered.
Just mine.
I don't know. I asked some.
Did you pick one, Thrakus?
Oh, I was supposed to pick it?
No, he means.
I told you to pick one that makes you uncomfortable. I was serious.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought this was like you trying to find a main.
Snowcone actually has a good question. At what point in your life did you start to really enjoy writing, and when did you realize you had a talent for it?
It's one of those things that I've always done here and there, just sort of checking it out, but never really got serious about it until when I was in graduate school, and I started reading, was it Wizard's First Rule, the Terry Goodkin book? And it was near the beginning, and there was sort of the young guy who met the old wizardly guy who gave him a magic sword and sent him on a quest, and I thought, man, I've read this a zillion times. I can do better than that. And so I spent the next 10 years figuring out how to write and coming up with my first manuscript.
And have you made better than that?
The first one, not really. It was a learning experience. But my second book is the one that you can read for free on my website, toddsedwards.com. And that one, every time I read it, I still enjoy it. So I guess that's the one that toddsedwards.com.
Oh, okay.
We'll put that
It'll be in the show notes.
Yeah.
Plug.
Yeah.
All right,
But when I read that one, that's when I realized that I can write pretty well.
All right. Ruth asked, which was a better effect, food from the singing steel pants or water from the singing steel boots? And I have no idea what
I don't know what that is.
That's those are Bard special armor from EverQuest, because he and I were both bards. That's how we met, playing bards in EverQuest. And so you click on the pants and they summon food for you, and you click on the boots and they summon drink for you. So pants pudding or boot water. I'm gonna have to go with boot water.
Oh, I think that's a wise choice. All right, next question. Softball from Vijas. What's your favorite war class so far?
Probably Squig Herder. I keep going back and forth, but I like killing things. Okay. I admit it.
Now, this question is from some douchebag named Jabberant. If you were stuck on a deserted island with one book, what would it be?
I'd probably dig way back into my childhood and go with the Illuminati trilogy. There was a lot of wacky shit in that. I could read that many times probably and still enjoy it.
Here's a bunch of questions from Thrakus, which I don't think any are usable. Yeah, none of those are usable. If you were a vampire, would you eat a rat?
I guess if I had to. There's nothing else.
Well, he's got one serious one here. Wow. What would you claim is your main inspiration for writing? Which writer would you claim?
Which writer? Yeah, probably Tim Powers. He writes fantasy books that are, set in the modern day, but it's like a normal person going through his life, and then all of a sudden he realizes that, ghosts actually exist, or there's magic is real, and kind of gets sucked into this weird world. When I read his books, I don't know where they're going. Most books I read, you get the first chapter in and you kind of know how it's going to unfold. but his books are all just the mind of the bizarre. I don't know how to describe it, but anything by him, you should go read.
Ras has a question. Does it upset you that the fortunes you find in most fortune cookies today are better defined as good advice versus a real fortune?
Yeah, it's kind of lame when you read those. But as I mentioned, one time I got an actual fortune, and it was the best fortune I've ever seen. And I keep it, and I show it to people. And so I open this cookie, and it says, "You will be hungry again in 1 hour."
That is really good.
That's the kind of fortune that I would write if I was a fortune writer. Of course, I'd always also put in things like, "You will be hit by a bus on the way home."
Freak people. Mine would be blank.
Okay, now we're getting to the questions. I don't really know any that are usable. What's your social security number?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm not like that dude on TV.
Moving on. Yeah, you don't have a LifeLock?
I can't
No.
wait till that company closes down and somebody's like, hey.
Oh, and they
Free
get
Social
sued.
Security.
The $1 million guarantee or whatever. All right, next page of questions.
All right.
I don't know if there's any here.
No, I think that sums it up there for his spotlight.
Hold on, let's take one look.
No questions from Zelly?
Well, those were...
Yeah, your social security number. When do you
And-
leave your house for the day? How big is your TV?
And where's your spare key?
Ab's got a good one. What does blood taste like? I like that one.
Blood tastes like, I don't know, it's a little metallic, kind of coppery. It's definitely got a tang to it.
This disturbs
Very
me.
distinctive.
What kind of blood are we talking about? Because, I want to be selective.
Is this the
If I'm
rat?
going to do this, I want to do it right.
Is this the rat blood we were talking about earlier?
I've never tried rat blood. But, as a writer, I
This
have
Canadian blood tastes like. 'Cause we're right next to Windsor, right?
to... As a writer, you learn lots of strange and disturbing facts.
Probably mostly alcohol.
Absinthe-induced hallucinations.
It's like alcohol and ham. That's what it tastes like. Canadian
That's blood.
Does it taste like watery beer?
Yeah, alcohol and like
hams.
syrup. That'd be delicious.
You can have it about the hoose.
Now Maeve is we have to cut her in here and we have to apologize to all the Canadians.
No, I love
Everyone's-
Canadians. What are you talking about?
It's pronounced Canada.
Yeah. I love them. They're delicious.
Phone call. 1 second.
Oh yeah, just take that. No one's recording.
Sorry.
Do we have the Texans outnumbered the Canadians yet?
I think so.
I think they're gonna
The
throw down
Canadians
soon.
have gotten really quiet with the Texans that are showing up.
Yeah.
I think the Canadians really need to get on the podcast and,
Yeah.
let their voices be heard.
Yeah, they've been talking shit about you
Yeah.
Canadians. You guys need to come.
It's
It's getting ugly.
Yeah,
definite
time to
vibe,
step
you know?
up.
We've
Yeah.
cut out some sick shit. All right, is that it for winning on the spot?
Yes, and I wanted to say we have actually...
That was pretty tame.
I'm sorry.
I know.
We
I
have
could ask you about the
actually-
frilly lace if you want.
We've actually received some iTunes reviews lately, and the one is saying that they'll stop listening if Maeve quits talking. I suspect that is Lyris.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I put her in the bumper for this one, since she couldn't
Ah.
be here tonight.
Yeah, so Maeve, you better keep contributing.
We need you, Maeve,
Because we need all these stars that we can get.
because
Superstar.
our guild won't listen. Like, why do we care?
I don't know. We just need stars.
I just like stars. They're,
I
just
played,
want them.
I've played so much Mario that I need stars.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah. All right, so I think that'll do it. Thanks for listening to this episode of CoTCast. Please send feedback to circleoftrust.guild@gmail.com, or you can write a review on iTunes. Be sure to check out the website and forum at www.circleoftrust.org, and we'll see you in game.
And have a fun holiday weekend.
Star wipe.
Why have hamburger when you can have steak? Star Wars. Do you know what that's from?
Oh god, yeah, that was cracking me up the other day.
Hey, we should record one of those short stories from the site with everyone doing their own parts.
Do you hear my voice?
Yeah,
Do you hear how
a little bit.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh, we know.
my voice sounds deeper usually.